All right, so this is a analysis video over the poem Neutral Tones by Thomas Hardy, and we'll be discussing word choice and tone. Let's see. Okay. Poem Neutral Tones by Thomas Hardy. I'll read it first, and then I'll talk about it and relate it to tone. We stood by a pond that winter day, and the sun was white, as though chidden of God, and a few leaves lay on the starving sod. They had fallen from an ash, and were gray. Your eyes on me were as eyes that rove over tedious riddles of years ago, and some words played between us to and fro, on which lost the more by our love. The smile in your mouth was the deadest thing alive enough to have strength to die, and a grin of bitterness swept thereby like an ominous bird a-wing. Since then, keen lessons that love deceives and rings with wrong have shaped to me your face, and the God-cursed sun, and a tree, and a pond edged with grayish leaves. What an upper, right? Yes. This is the poem written before the breakup, or it's written before a lifelong dead relationship with someone that they completely hate. So if we have neutral tones, we're going to talk about word choice. Word choice is looking at the specific words that poets choose and writers choose to convey meaning and thought. Now, sometimes people don't like to put a lot of thought into word choice because sometimes people don't think that words are as purposeful as they assume. So, like right now, I'm talking to you. I'm looking at this poem, and when I talk to other students in person, right, I don't always measure out exactly what I want to say. I have ideas I need to express, and the words that I use to express those might vary. Especially if I have the same message but different classes, my words change because I'm doing this all in the moment, like right now, where we are. Versus a writer. A writer chooses his or her words thoughtfully, especially in poetry, which is short form. It's small. It's and therefore it's more deliberate. Everything is much more deliberate in a poem. And so while you in your everyday life, like myself, might not spend as much time thinking about the specific words that we use in a conversation, if even maybe writing an email, sometimes people just quickly write and they send off. Okay. But if you are going to write and publish a poem, then I'm sure that you would think very diligently on the word choices. So we're going to put some effort into looking at the words that this author has chosen to use in his very deliberate poem. All right, so in poetry, it's less about truth, okay, and more about effect and what effect words have, okay? So just in this first line, we stood by a pond that winter day, okay? We're not going to assume that this is a true story and that the writer actually wrote this on a winter day. Instead, we're going to think about the fact that this poet is trying to create this experience of a very terrible, unloving relationship. And the best environment for that type of relationship is winter, because winter is known as the coldest season. Let's see, can I type in here? Yep, winter equals cold, and cold in poetry or literature, all right, equals unloving. Okay, if it's cold, and we say this in general, I'll she's kind of a cold person, all right. She's not very warm, which means not very loving, all right, not very inviting. So we stood by upon that cold day, winter day, lifeless, unloving. It's also lifeless. Okay, dead. Nothing grows in winter. In fact, things die in winter. And the sun was white. Was white. Once again, white, not good. White is lifeless. All right. If things are overly white, so here white equals pale, which equals a corpse. It's dead. And a corpse, again, is cold. All right. And we already know cold is unloving, lifeless, dead, not good. And a few leaves lay on the starving sod. All right, starving. Starving is another word that deals with death. All right, starving. Now, highlighter. You're acting crazy. All right. So starving, sod, winter, white. All right. All these are words that are alluding to death, cold, decay. They had fallen from an ash and were gray. All very negative. Okay, and ash. It's not a cloud, it's ash. Burning. All right, ash comes from burning wood, burning anything. Being burned is being killed, is death. Again, death, death, death. Not good. Not healthy. Your eyes on me were eyes that rove over tedious riddles of years ago. Now, riddles can be fun. Some people really like riddles, okay? But tedious. Something that's tedious is unpleasant. All right, so we don't want to be confused with like, oh, good riddles, or he's like a riddle. I just gotta figure him out. It's not like that kind of riddle. All right, it's a tedious, it's unpleasant, it's annoying, it's frustrating. Eyes that rove. Eyes that rove. This is what we refer to as rolling your eyes. All right, and when you roll your eyes at somebody, that's not a good thing. That's not like a lovey-dovey look. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna roll my eyes because I love them so much. Rolling your eyes is, once again, annoyed, frustrated. It's negative, making fun of. All right, and so this is not a good way to describe. So still we have this very negative tone, this very negative, pessimistic tone. Because remember, tone equals attitude. All right, perspective, opinion. All right, your tone, negative, 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 negative perspective. All right, negative attitude towards it. Your opinion of it is not good. The smile on your mouth. Oh wait, we're fast. Let's see here. And some words played between us to and fro. Small talk. I'm just making small talk. On which lost the more by our love. So we know that the words were lost between them, just like the love between them is lost. There is no love. The smile on your mouth was the deadest thing. Alive enough to have strength to die. That's a great line. So die and deadest. Still words that are much more blunt. They're very much related to winter, white, starving, ash, gray. Okay. All relating to dying and dead. A grin of bitterness. Bitterness is not a positive word. It's very negative, if you didn't know that. And like an ominous bird, a wing. Ominous means like scary, foreshadowing something bad, dreadful. Okay, and so then we get down to our theme here. Love deceives. Love deceives. And rings with wrong have shaped me. Your face, God, cursed sun, a tree, a pond with grayish leaves. So this poem is filled with negative words. Negative words. Let's look. Let's write them all down. Okay, negative words. Winter. White. I didn't even talk about chidon, but starving. ash, gray, tedious, lost, deadest, die, bitterness, ominous, deceives, wrong. All right, let's see here. Cursed, grayish. Okay. So how's it going, Pete? Not good, Bob. That would be my response. In this poem, it's not going well. All right. So these negative words they all contribute to the overall tone. All right. The tone of let's see, anger. I mean, I don't know if there's even anger. Let's see. So these words all contribute to the tone, all right, which is a very pessimistic outlook on love. Okay. There is it's very antagonistic. It's resentful to his lover here. All right. It's and you know, I mean, I think it's melancholic. There's definitely some melancholy here. All right. These are all different tones that the poem has: resentful, melancholy, antagonistic, pessimistic. All right. Just very, very negative on this experience. So, alrighty. Well, there's word choice and tone, and that's how we and those items we use to better understand the poem and the overall theme of the poem. Alrighty, take it easy.